Hi team, I'm going to be doing a screencast for steps for formatting a quality assurance self-review from TaskStream. So the first thing you're going to do is to go to TaskStream and find the completed evaluation. In case you have forgotten how to do that, I'm not going to go all the way there because I don't want to show student names on this, but instead of picking evaluations required from the home screen, which is what we're used to doing, you have to know which type of review it was and then go and choose that. Mine happened to be an SMAW, and then down here you will just hit continue, and then this is where I don't want to show the names, but over on the right-hand side, you'll see where all of the completed reviews are, and you'll just pull that up. When you pull it up, it is going to look like one that I've created, but I've redacted the student name. So it's going to look just like this. So this is the evaluation that I actually used for my self-review. And what you want to do is just refamiliarize yourself enough so that you're going to be able to complete the rubric piece. Okay, so read through that, and then I would just minimize it because you're going to use it and you're going to have to probably open it a couple times. And then we're going to pull up the rubric, and it looks like this. Melissa usually emails this in an attachment, and you can also find it. It was last on the hub, and I'm not sure if it's made it yet to our SharePoint. So come down here, and this is where you want to actually start filling pieces in. So the evaluator was myself, so because this is a self-review, so I'm going to put in my name here. I'm going to put in the student name and ID number, the type of review that it was, and this is a drop down, so this is a self-review. And this was my SMAW 1018 for EdTPA. The date that I'm doing this, so I'll just put in today's date, and the tasks that I will be looking at would be 1 and 3 because that's what I evaluated. So then I'm just going to go through this rubric. So for the personal communication, I have reviewed it and I did not find any problems with it. So I'm going to put in today's date, and I might say something like the work correctly contains the required comments. And is free from errors. In articulation and mechanics. Okay, and then I will choose a score from the drop down, and I'm going to say that's exemplary. And you would continue to do that with evaluation department procedures, task aspect comments, overall comment, and the content team calibration. Okay, so now let's say I have completed all of those pieces, and I'm not going to do anything with this copy and paste yet because I have found, at least for me, the most efficient way to do it is to copy and paste both pieces into a new Word document. You may have found something else that works, and that's great, but this is what has worked for me. So now what I'm going to do is open a new Word document. So I'm just going to come down here to Word and do a File New. I'm going to open this up, and The first thing I want to do is to change the size. The first one I did, I changed to a legal and everything was fine. And then this last go around when I was practicing, I needed to change it to an 8.5 by 17. So we'll see what works. So change it to the legal, and then it needs to be landscape. Okay, so then I'm going to just enter down a couple of rows because the first thing I'm going to paste I want in the bottom of the document. So now I'm going to paste the evaluation into the document and make sure I can see the entire rubric, including the 4s. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and find my task stream, and I'm going to select everything using Control A, and then copy everything using Control C, go back to my new document that I have not named yet, and I'm going to Control V, paste it in. And it takes just a second. And then what I want to do is check, move your bar over because you want to make sure you're seeing the whole thing. And I can see I'm missing some stuff even in just the comments. So I know I'm going to be missing some of the 4 stuff. The other thing I forgot was we also have to change the margins. So I'm going to go to the margins, and I know that's a little bit out of my screencast, but do custom margins. And since I'm not worried about printing this, everything's electronic, I'm going to take it right down to like 0.1, left and right. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. And it may say that you need to fix it. I'm going to say no, ignore that, because I want it to really be that. And now I'm going to look, and I'm going to move my bar just to see. I can see that I'm still missing some words, and then if I go up here, same thing. So this is where I said you may have to play around with that size a little bit. So I think it needs to be 8.5 by 17. So, whoops. I'm going to come down here to more paper sizes, and where it's 14, I'm going to change that to 17, and then hit OK. And I'm going to ignore again, because yes, I do want that. Now I know that some of this is out of the screencast. Oh, but I can scroll over. So you can see with the scroll bar, I now have everything, and probably I don't need this much extra room, so I might go back and mess around with that and change it instead of 17 to 15 and just see. But you get the idea, I think. Everything is in here now, and so my entire rubric is in. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay, so that is now kind of at the bottom. I wanted that at the bottom of my document. And I know it's going to be a little bit cut off for you. Oh, there. If I change my screencast frame, now you can see the whole thing. So now the next piece I want is basically where the self-review is. So I'm going to come to this document. This is the stuff. Now pretend I filled it all in. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. Control A, Control C, and then go back to that Word document that has the bigger size. And I'm going to go up to the top, and I'm going to Control V everything. So now let's just take a quick look. There's my... This is the reason that you see it going out is just the bar. Okay, so if I move my scroll bar, everything can be seen. So there's the top piece, and then it comes down here, and what you want to make sure is your name is in there correctly, and there it is. And then my rubric is there, all filled out, exemplary for everything. This is actually when I remembered that I spelled matrices wrong, and I had an IES instead of just ES. Now, this is where we copy and paste the actual submission. So if I delete that, I don't it's not coming up. So we'll just go down here, and there it is on the second page. And again, everything can be seen by the supervisor because of the scroll bar. And then you want to save this. Let me move that bar over again. So if you do a file, save as, I think the naming convention, oh, I can't remember, but that's pretty clear in the email that goes along with it. I would just use something like, come in here, and I'm going to call it Pratt QA for 3 spring. I'm not sure that this is quite right, but something like this. And then I would save that, and then I would email that as an attachment to my supervisor. So I hope that helps you, and if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. I do have about 7 steps in a Google Doc that I'm happy to share with anyone that would like it, so just send me your a request and I would do that. Thanks very much.